the Women's Moon Centers for Men, getting the inner secrets on women's emotional states. And the best news is what you can do about them. Okay? It's like, have you ever felt like, oh my God, she is just more emotional today than yesterday. What is with this? You know? And I know a lot of men either just try to like block it out and ignore it, and other men try to deal with it. I had somebody tell me very sweetly that her partner has a list of 5 things that he tries to do with her. You know, first he tries to like joke with her, and if that doesn't work, it makes her weirder. He tries to say, do you want me to run you a bath? You know, then he'll give her a shoulder massage. So he's got his little list, and she goes, I just love it that he has this little list that he runs through, that he's really trying. But I want you to be able to hit the target as opposed to just trying. So what this is about is it's about revealing something that was a science long ago that men and women both knew about. Because I have to tell you, in case you didn't get it, when women are crazy like that, they don't like being around themselves, okay? It's not a fun place to be. And sometimes you feel like, oh my God, as a woman, whoa, today you're up, the next day you're on the floor, then, you know, 2 minutes later you feel really great, and then like, phew. And it doesn't seem to be based on anything that happens externally, although that can exacerbate it. But it's really this whole internal, and we could say hormonal flux, we can say, you know, PMSing. Oh my God, I'm PMSing 90% of the time. But it's really much different than that, and I think that as you go into this with me, you'll go, oh my God, I get it. Now, one thing I have to ask you to do is clear your mind, because as you hear these moon centers, you may go, oh my God, I think that my partner, my wife, my whatever is permanently stuck, you know, in the negative aspect of the brow, all right, or whatever it is. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through each center, and I'm going to describe a little bit about them to you. So hang in there, because the outcome of this is that you will actually go, okay, you'll be able to laugh because you'll get it. And you'll be able to know, I have tools. I have things I can do to make this a whole lot better, right? Don't most men want a whole lot more ease in their lives and not want, you know, women, especially when they're in their really bitchy, you know, challenged state. We're not going to say negative, we're going to say challenged, okay? Not to come at them, you know, about the stupidest little things, right? You just kind of like, shh, stop, right? Is that the thing? Or you sometimes feel like you have your hands over your head going, no, 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 I'm not listening to you. And you feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm too. Of course, you might not be doing that externally, but internally you're like, shut up, stop it. She'd like to stop it too. So there's a whole series for her that you can buy for her. The most important thing I want you to understand in this is every woman is not the same. If you haven't guessed that already. But also with the moon centers, they're not the same. You'll find that women, you're going to have to chart. Okay, men like to chart, right? Most men? Good. You get to chart this. For about 3 months, you get to chart and figure it out. So I suggest that you download a really great picture that you like of the female form. And probably don't make it personalized. That's probably not going to be a good idea, because I want you to put it on your fridge or in your bedroom somewhere really that you can see it. And you're going to get 3 different colored markers. Okay, 1 for each month. And she gets 3 different colored markers. And you're going to, every 2.5 days, you're going to chart where you think it is by how she's acting, right? The great thing about how you think it is, she may think something different. It's okay. You got your marker. You get to mark, and at the end of 3 months, you're going to kind of go, okay, I see how this goes. And then once you get how this goes, that's the way it's going to go every month, unless something hugely traumatic happens in your life. Okay? So that's the good news. You only have to do it for 3 months, and then after that, you're home free. You get to look at it and go, okay, these are, so what I would suggest on this chart is that you put this is the, let's just go over them so it's not like, oh, suppose. Okay, we're going to go over each one. There's 11 moon centers. They each get the reflection of the moon for about 2.5 days. Come on, you know that the moon creates the tides in the ocean, right? So you don't think the moon can create little tides in us and make us like, woo, woo. You get to help her make those tides like this instead of like, 20-foot waves, okay? 20-foot waves you can surf. 20-foot emotional waves just crush you, all right? So we went out of the crush stage and go, yeah, I don't want to be drugged under that one again, right? I want to have the tools. And it's this ancient science. I want you to have it, so you have tools, right? The beautiful things about these is that they go through different points of a woman's body. So I'm going to tell you the points first, then we're going to go back to the points, and we're going to talk about what each one does, okay? So the first one, and these are going to sound really, some of them weird, and some of them you're like, okay, I like that point. Don't have to worry about any of those things because you're going to get to see what it is that they do. First one, brow line, hairline, okay? So your hairline is right here for everybody. Next thing is eyebrows, okay? The next thing is cheeks, okay? Lips, back of the neck, nipples, okay? Navel, inner thighs, clitoris, and the membranes of your vagina. Oh, and I forgot earlobes. How could I forget earlobes? Okay, so we're going to go over each one of them, and I'm going to talk to you about the assets and the aspects of each one, right? Okay, so brow line. What does that even mean? Well, in the moon centers, I'll tell you what your brow line means. It means we're going to do positive, neutral, and challenged aspect of each one of these. So I'm going to give you the goodies first. In the neutral aspect, it means nothing moves her. So you tell her a weird story, you get upset, nothing's going to happen. Just going to be like, okay, I'm going to go out and take a walk and, whatever. Just this. Nothing moves her. So craziness won't move her. Fabulousness won't move her. Nothing. Okay. In the challenged aspect of it, it's just the opposite. Everything gets to her. Okay? It's like, oh no. So this is your visionary line, right? It's, what do we say, when we want to look out to the horizon and really see it? We do this, right? Okay. Or we have, a bill of a hat coming over there. But it rests right here, so you're looking out, and you want to understand that this, when it affects her in the positive, she's very visionary, okay? And the negative, she feels like, or the challenge, we're going to say challenge, right? Don't want to say negative, especially when a woman's in a challenge state. Don't ever make the mistake of saying, God, you're in a negative place. Woohoo! Not the right answer of what to do, right? I'm sure you know that by now, but you're going to get some things that will really help. Okay, so the challenge to this is like no vision, no connection, just feeling, oh my God, what's happening with me? Yuck. All right. Eyebrows. Eyebrows are also visionary, but they're like dreams. It's like healing dreams. It's so that you feel like that which, your eyebrows are the two mountains on the side of your third eye, which is the place you really see from. These you look from. Okay, so the eyebrows are that connector. And it doesn't mean anything if somebody's got a unibrow or they've got their brows completely plucked fabulously. This isn't part of the whole thing. It's just that the moon goes into the brows for 2.5 days, and women get very kind of dreamy, but they really get visions in those, dreamy places. So listen to them. Okay, we'll go into this all in depth, but good time to listen. When they're not, they feel like the challenge state, there's no future. They see nothing. It's like, oh my God, I'm devoid of a dream for my life. And they can get very depressed about that. Okay. In the neutral state, it's like they realize that they can use this healing energy for all those around them. Okay. Cheeks. Oh, I forgot fantasy. Women's go is into fantasy. When she can't do dreams, and you're going to think, oh, yay, good, I can be part of her fantasy. You may not want to be part of this fantasy, okay? We'll talk about it more. Cheeks. Okay, when women are in the cheeks, the moon center's in the cheeks. In the positive, she is a PR machine. Use it, okay? When she's in the challenged, she can't even PR? What do you mean? I can't even think about, almost stringing a couple of sentences together. I can't promote anything. I just don't even look to me to bring things together, right? And in the neutral of that, it's, she's very radiant and beautiful. Doesn't have to say anything. You just look at her and you go, wow, you look great today. And she's very present with it. And it's not like, okay, I had to put on 6 layers of makeup and, go to the doctor and, get something done to my face. So I'm like, it's none of that. It's like, she's just very at home in her body and looks gorgeous. And that's the times where you're like, okay, now I know why I'm with her, right? All right. Lips. Lips are, in the positive, really talkative. Really talkative. Can we talk to you? And it's not that I need to talk to you thing. It's just like, I'll talk about anything. Give me a subject, I'll talk about it. Okay? When she's challenged in this, it's just negative talk, right? It's just like, oh, this happened to me, la la la. The stories, right? And when she's in the neutral, the beautiful thing about the neutral is that she uses desire to communicate to actually create deeper connection. It's when you want, okay? Because it doesn't have to be even verbal. It can be nonverbal. And kissing, you don't usually talk when you kiss, right? It's usually a nonverbal thing. So you want to be able to help her to that state. All right, earlobes. Okay, the one we missed on the way through, right, our journey. Earlobes are very sensuous, and they're very soft, and they're very delicate. And yet, in the moon centers, your earlobes are about your knowing. Okay, we have to take a break for a minute. All right. I can have these right down here, can't I? Because you're not even seeing this. Fabulous. Okay. All right. Earlobes. Earlobes are an interesting thing because you would think that earlobes, as soft as they are, it would be a very soft moon center, but it's really about a wake-up call, right? It's, oh, what are my values? It's a reassessment time in the earlobes. Okay, the positive is like, I want to reassess what the values are in my life, and they will want to connect with you about what are we really doing together? What is our life based on? In the challenge state, okay, you're going to feel like, what does it matter if you have values anyway? Everybody, gives up on those values. Everybody is for sale. Everything is for sale. Why should you keep your values? Doesn't really matter, right? In the neutral, you feel very empowered to connect and live to those values. You just feel like, why would anybody not want to have values, know what they are, and live to them? It's just that simple. The interesting thing about the neutral is it's really simple. It's not flatlined and dead. It's just very clear and very simple. It's like not having that dog in the race, not having that, you don't have that agenda of what has to happen. You're just, I'm inside of this, and this is what's supposed to happen. Oh, good. So you're going to want to go for the neutral in all of these. You're going to go, oh my God, yes, this is the thing I love, right? Okay, nape of the neck. Nape of the neck is very sensuous, isn't it? It's a very place, oh my God, just kiss a woman's nape of her neck lightly. Just brush it with your lips. It's like most women are kind of like, okay, hi, how are you? It's a very sensuous, amazing place. In the moon centers, the nape of your neck is, a romantic voice, and the positive is just like, so good time to speak romantically, not harshly, and lots of good things can come from that, okay? In the challenge state, it's, she feels really unable to communicate. Like, just leave me alone, I can't talk, I don't know what you're saying. She can't hear you, and she can't speak, okay? In the neutral state, nape of the neck, it's a speaking from the heart. It's like you really, it's not like, okay, she's putting on a show for me. You really get that what she says, she really feels that. And so it may be she'll speak to you from the heart. It may be about your children. It may be about, a project. It may be about something in the community. But just know that what she speaks about at this point in time, really important. Okay. Nipples. Okay, we would think that, okay, we have to stop this because I've got this something falling down. And it's like, okay, it doesn't feel good. Get the nipples and my shirt's falling off. All right. Okay, nipples. Great thing about nipples is we're all glad. We're glad that we have them, right? They're very sensuous. The nipples are also the protectors. The breasts are the protectors of the heart. And your heart is about compassion. So nipples, when women are in their nipples, they will, in the positive, they tend to be overgiving, just get in the pathway and you will be given to, okay? Which sounds really, really good, except sometimes at the end of it, she lands up really exhausted, okay? The challenge of this one is the heart closes down, miserly, not capable of giving it all. And the neutral one is compassion, really deep compassion. Compassion doesn't mean I have to do something about this. Compassion means I get the overarching plan. I get the big plan. Okay, so you want to be in that big plan. That's your nipples. Navel? Navel is power, and it is connection, and it is that capacity to understand that this center right here connects you to the earth, all right? Your navel used to connect you into your mother. Now, this navel, its navels are so interesting. They're very sensitive little places when you touch the navel. It's like, woo! Okay, there's a whole nerve ganglia around the navels, and that's more than you need to know right now. But your navel is energy. You've got a lot of energy. She's really positive. It's like, yeah, let's go do this. Yes, no, okay. Challenged, Zippo, flatline, no energy, doesn't want to do anything, can hardly be roused out of bed, much less off the couch, much less, if it's a day that you're like, okay, we've got this and this and this and this to do, and she's like, you're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to learn that. That might be a good idea. Okay, in the neutral aspect of this one, it's like not only does she have energy, but she knows how to use it well, how to spread it, not how to just go, whoa, I've got a ton of energy, let's do this, and then exhaustion, right? It's like, I know how to actually regulate my energy so that I have enough energy to go around. I don't just give it all at the office or all to the children or all. I know how to actually be able to allocate it well. All right? Inner thighs. Okay. Inner thighs are one of the places in our body that are so wonderful, and they're not that open to everything, right? So your inner thighs are about strength and connection. We'll talk about that a whole lot more. But your inner thighs, when a woman's in her inner thighs, we say she's very confirmative. Okay, the positive is like, no, where this is the way it needs to be. And it's not this is the way it needs to be because this is the way I want it to be. It's this is the way it needs to be because I really see this is the way it needs to be. Okay, so that's the neutral. This is the way it needs to be because it is. Not because either one of us want this, because it is. The positive is, this is the way it needs to be because I see this. You know, it makes sense to me. There's negotiating capacity in the positive. In the neutral, it's just, you need to get in the fact that she's tuning into a bigger channel. Okay. The negative is, I have no idea how it needs to be. Okay, I'm left, I'm right, I'm up, I'm down. It's like, do not let her make decisions at those times. Okay, that's the time where you say, which movie do you want to go to? And she's like, that's a nice one. I'm just giving you an easy one, right? But if she can't decide for her. It's not going to decide when she's in this. Okay, so the clitoris. Aren't you interested to hear what happens when the moon is in the clitoris? You're probably, it's not going to be what you think, I can tell you that much. When it's in the clitoris, she is in the neutral, really in the positive, really social. Wants to be out entertaining, you know, wants to be with people, let's go out dancing, let's go to a party, let's go to a, you know, an opening, let's be with people. In the challenged aspect, she only wants to be with her people. She wants to be with the people that make her feel safe and connected, and that's what she wants. Okay? And in the neutral, it's like, take me anywhere, and I can connect. I can connect. We can be totally social, or I can be totally connected and social with the entire universe. You know, make it as small as you and me, or as big as the entire universe, right? So that's the neutral. The last one is the membranes of the vagina. Okay, the membranes of the vagina, it sounds really yummy, right? The membranes of the vagina is very connective, very energetic. That makes sense, right? In the positive, connective and energetic. In the negative, it's our challenge, it's feeling like an empty or zero. Just feeling like the last thing you want to do is connect with anything because you have nothing to connect with. All of your receptors are dead. It's like momentary depression, right? It's like somebody just pulled the plug on a woman's energy and she just feels like, no, I have no idea who I am. Stop. Okay. The beautiful thing about the neutral in this aspect is that you really get to see not the hard, immovable aspect of the feminine, but that which it's like whatever anybody says doesn't get to her. And it's not because she's flatlined, it's because she's vast in this. So it's like, okay, you know, what do you think about this? It's good. What do you really think? It's fine. What do you want to do? You know, it's not like, why are you asking me that again? There's none of that. It's just like, I can see it all, and nothing's going to move me. This person died, this person was born. It's good. It's all good. Not because of numbness, but because of, I get it. So she's in that total I get it state. And she'll get you, and she'll get everyone around you. So great thing. Okay, so now we're going to go back, and I'm going to take a sip of tea first. I'm so happy we didn't do this yesterday. I had the worst sore throat I could ever talk.
Oh, really?
Okay, so we're back, right? And and I don't have a clock.
We're at 25 minutes right now.
Okay, right. So you'll let me know when we're close to the hour, 5 minutes. All right. Here we are. and we're starting this. And I have to tell you that I really admire you as men, that you want to know these things. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I really want you to get that, number one, you showed up for this and you're willing to learn about it. So that really means that all of these things that I'm going to give you, these little tools, that hopefully you'll use them. But the fact that you did the first two things, you showed up and you're willing to do the work, oh my God, how fabulous. Then you have to remember, don't be attached to the results. Sometimes women do not let you know how effective the things you do for them are until later. Have you ever noticed that? You know, I had somebody say that, you know, when she's really upset and her husband will hug her, she said, I don't tell him until about a week later how grateful I was for that hug because I was still into being mad. Okay, so you're going to get a lot of techniques, and you have to understand that sometimes you won't reap immediate rewards, but the reward will always be there. Because one thing about women is they're incredibly grateful, especially when their men show up for them, and especially emotionally. Oh my God, all right? Because if you all had to live in a woman's body with all of these things going on every day, I'm telling you, you would escape and go, woohoo! Okay, I don't need that kind of ride. Why do men go out and they're the ones that do all these, you know, ultimate sports, you know, kind of thing? Because they don't get the rushes that we get all the time, okay? We have, you know, it's all, so men have to go out and seek those adrenaline rushes. We have them all the time. Right. They happen all the time. When you understand these moon centers and you really get a pattern, you're kind of go, okay, wow. I want you to understand two things. Each moon center has a gift, huge gift. And if you utilize the gift and you get your partner, your wife, to utilize her gift in that area, my God, it will benefit her, it will benefit you, and it will benefit the world. Okay, not to mention your family and her business and all these other things, because you'll know what gifts are coming up and you'll go, ha, this is the perfect day to do this. This is the perfect time to take this vacation. This is the perfect time to do this. You'll get it, okay? And you'll start living your life in a cycle, not of fear that these things are going to come along, okay? But, I know how to use them. And I know how to help her get from a really challenged state into the powerful state. That's why we're doing this whole thing. Because when you hear about these moon centers the first time, they're going to be like, really? This is like too crazy. Oh my God, right? This is like, and then it's too stupid. And then the more that you get it, and the more you listen to this, and the more you play with this, the more you're going to go, yes, yes. And the more you apply it, right? Look at your partner and watch her, okay? Not watch her, paranoid watch her, but watch her and see how the moods change. I'm going to give you little stories as we go through this, and you're going to get to see like, oh my God, yes, that's what she does with me. Okay, so we're talking about the hairline first, right? This beautiful part up here, and you're going to understand that when she's in this hairline aspect, it's all about being the visionary, right? When she's in the positive, you want to allow, you want to do more than that. You want to give her environments that help her with her visions. So really encourage her to do something that helps to clear her mind before she goes to sleep on that night, okay? Because she can get visions and dreams. Encourage her to meditate, all right? Meditate with her. All right, I'm going to give you like a really, really super simple meditations, all right, for a lot of these. And if you can meditate, I know people have these things like, oh my God, no, I can't meditate. Nobody can meditate. You know, it's like, oh no. I'm going to give you ones that actually have sounds with them, or breaths. So you have something to do inside the meditation. Bless you. Sat Nam. I look forward to having you back.